I came home for winter break expecting alone time with my long-distance boyfriend, but he blindsided me by bringing home a girl for the holidays. And the worst part is he expected me to be fine with it. My boyfriend Colton and I have been together since senior year of high school. When college started, we went long distance. He's at a university 4 hours away, and I'm at a state school about 2 hours in the other direction. We made it work. Calls every night, visits when we could afford the gas. We planned everything around breaks. Winter break was ours. That was the deal. 2 weeks together at home. Movie marathons, late night drives, cooking terrible meals in his mom's kitchen. It was the one stretch of time where the distance didn't exist, and we could just be together like we used to be. This December, I drove home on a Thursday. I texted Colton when I got in. He said he'd be home Friday. He said he had something to tell me. I figured it was about his grades or maybe a summer internship. I was excited. I went to his mom's house Friday afternoon. His truck was in the driveway. I walked in through the side door like always. His mom hugged me. Then I heard a voice I didn't recognize from the living room. A girl was sitting on the couch. She was wearing one of Colton's hoodies. Her bag was on the floor next to the coffee table. Colton came out of the kitchen. He saw my face and immediately said, "This is Megan. She's a friend from school. Her family lives overseas and she didn't have anywhere to go for break, so I told her she could stay here." I looked at him, then I looked at Megan. She smiled and waved like this was normal. I pulled Colton into the hallway. "You didn't tell me. I was going to." That's what I wanted to talk about. "You wanted to talk about it. You already invited her. The decision was already made." He said she had nowhere to go. I couldn't just leave her alone at school. I said, "You could have told me. You could have called me before she was sitting on your couch." He said I was overreacting. He said Megan was just a friend. He said I had nothing to worry about. She was sleeping in the guest room. It wasn't like that. I wanted to believe him. I stayed for dinner. Megan was nice, polite, friendly, asked me questions about my major. But she also touched Colton's arm when she talked. She finished his sentences. She knew his coffee order and what shows he was watching and which professors he liked. She knew things you know about someone you spend a lot of time with, not just a classmate, not just a friend from school. After dinner, Colton walked me to my car. I told him I was uncomfortable. He said I was reading into things. He said Megan was harmless. He said this was supposed to be our break and I was ruining it by being jealous. I drove home and sat in my bedroom staring at the ceiling. The next 2 days I tried. I went over, hung out, pretended everything was fine, but Megan was always there. When Colton and I watched a movie, she sat between us. When we went to get food, she came along. When I suggested just the two of us do something alone, Colton said, "We can't just leave her here. She doesn't know anyone." So our 2 weeks turned into a group hangout with a girl who had her own drawer in his bathroom. I found that out when I went to wash my hands. Her toothbrush was next to his, her face wash was on the counter, her hair tie was on the doorknob. I walked back into the living room and said, "Colton, can I talk to you outside?" He came out. I said, "She has a toothbrush in your bathroom." "She's a guest? Guests don't get drawers and doorknobs. What exactly is going on?" He got frustrated. "I told you she's a friend. You're making this weird." I said, "You brought a girl home for the holidays. She wears your clothes, finishes your sentences, and has a toothbrush next to yours. I'm not making it weird. It already is." He crossed his arms and said the thing that ended it. "If you trusted me, this wouldn't be a problem." I stared at him. "If you respected me, she wouldn't be here." He didn't have a response for that. I went home. I didn't text him. I didn't call. 2 days went by. He finally texted me on Christmas Eve. He said, "Megan went back to campus early. Can we talk?" I said, "What happened?" He said, "She left because things were tense." I said, "Things were tense because you invited another woman to spend the holidays with you and told me to deal with it." He said he was sorry. He said he made a mistake. He said he should have talked to me first. I said, "You should have, but you didn't. And now I know what your first instinct is when I'm not around. Bring someone else in and tell me I'm crazy for noticing." He asked if we could fix it. I said, "I drove home for winter break to see you. You gave my time to someone else and made me feel like I was wrong for caring. I don't know how to come back from that." We broke up 3 days after Christmas. He called it mutual. It wasn't. I spent New Year's at my best friend's house eating pizza on her floor. It wasn't what I planned.